Okay.
Good afternoon,
Lawrence,
everyone.
yeah.
Yeah, warm welcome you all for another episode of our webinar conducted by the International University Hub. The focus today is that we want to discuss if you're planning to study overseas, especially in Malaysia, what are the benefits that you can have by studying in Malaysia? So we have two personalities who will be talking to us today. Mr. Lawrence Chan, Chief Experience Officer at IACT College. And we have Mithila Narendran, Business Development Manager, Brickfields Asia College. Hi, Lawrence. Hi, Mithila. Nice to see you today.
Hi, Prageet. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming on, being part of this particular webinar. And I know it's quite late there. But let's start off. And first question I would like to put for Lawrence, then move to Mithila. Okay. Do you just give us a brief idea about IACT College and about Brickfields as well? Then we'll take it from there.
Mithila, go ahead.
All right, let me, I hope all of you can see our screen. So I'm just gonna start with this and then let's move forward, okay? So BAC and IACT is part of a larger ecosystem called the BAC Education Group. We're based in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur and Petaling Jaya to be exact. So they're quite urban and suburban areas. As you can see, this is the entire ecosystem. We've got over 25 companies, and all of these companies serve the students. So we all offer different services and courses to make you guys more employable. So we also have over 25 universities from around the world. So you can become a global graduate, and some of these universities are the world's best. Lawrence, would you like to explain a little bit more?
Oh, yes. In a way, you see, we prepare our students to study with these universities through what we call degree transfer programs. So should a student like you be interested in studying law, you register for a degree transfer program where you will do your first 2 years in Malaysia, and then you will do your final year in any one of these universities that are listed here on the screen. And those further down, like you see the University of Sunderland, Sheffield Hallam, Charles Sturt, RMIT, University of Canberra, University of Sunshine Coast, AUT. These are partner universities of IACT College where students can do the same. They can enroll for a transfer program here, or they can actually do their diplomas here, and then they do their final year in these universities in communications. Communications meaning, you know, marketing, advertising, design, broadcasting, film, public relations, journalism, and that's what this IACT college is noted for, whereas BAC is a law and a business college. So that's exactly how the transfer system works. Mithila, over to you.
Yes, and as you can see, we've got over 40 areas of study across the whole group. So it's not just BAC and IACT, we have some other colleges as well, but let's just go on to the rest. So BAC is well known as the fastest and smartest way, simply because you can graduate at least a year ahead of your friends. Okay, so what we offer, as you can see, is various pathways into law and business, where you can choose, like Lauren said, to transfer to the UK and do either 2 years in the UK or 1 year in the UK, or stay all 3 years in Malaysia. So BAC is a very specialist school. We only offer law and business, while, like Lauren said, IACT is another specialist school where they only offer the creative communication programs. Okay, let me go on to IACT. So Lawrence, would you take the lead? Yeah.
Yes, of course. If you could give me the next slide. As you saw, you know, we are known as the creative communication specialists, and if you are doing your secondary school education, there are many pathways. All you need to do is to finish your final year in secondary school, pass it with the qualifications, and you can come into a few pathways. One, you can come into your foundation studies, which is basically a preparatory course. It's a pre-university course for you to do the UK transfer degree, that is 2 years in Malaysia and 1 year overseas, or then it takes you on to your mass communications degree in the UK. Or you could come in straight from your O-levels or your secondary school education certificate and take a diploma in any one of these 6 fields, yeah? Mass communication, which covers journalism, PR, and public relations, and a bit of broadcasting, or marketing and advertising, as the name is self-explanatory, broadcast and film, or you can do graphic design. These diplomas are all 2.5 years, after which you do your year 3 in the University of Sunderland, transferring to the relevant degrees. And we have 2 new diplomas, which is event communication. Basically, it's event management and planning, and professional comm, which is specialized in journalism and public relations and not as general as the mass comm diploma. Even then, after which you can transfer to the University of Sunderland. And if, let's say, you do not have enough entry qualifications to enter either the pre-U or the diploma, you can go straight into our certificate program, which prepares you to enter the diploma. This certificate program is 1.5 years, and we have students coming from the Maldives, where the secondary school qualification is not accredited by our accreditation body. So they do their certificate first, and then they move into the diplomas, and then from the diplomas they do 2 years in Malaysia to finish their degrees. So basically that's how it works. So all in all, if you start to come in after your secondary school education, you do 1 year in foundation, and then you do 3 years of your degree in Malaysia, or you do 2 years in Malaysia and 1 year in the UK. The total will be 4 years either way. Or if you come into your diploma, you do 2 years or 2.5 years for your diploma, and then you transfer into the degree locally, or taught also by IACT, or you could that is 4 years or 4.5 years, or you could transfer directly after your diploma into one of the universities, or the University of Sunderland in the UK, where you do your final year. So that way it is slightly faster. You save a year, which is then 3 years from diploma to degree. Whereas from foundation, you do diploma foundation and then 1 year foundation, 3 years degree. But if you finish your degree with the diploma locally, then you do 2 years or 2.5 years diploma and 2 years degree, which means you enter the second year in your degree in Malaysia, not in the UK. Yeah, so that's how it works for the communications programs at ICT College.
Yeah.
Over to you,
and just to give you a little insight into our facilities and what we offer, this is our broadcasting room, where you have all the equipment you need for your programs. This is our studio. Both BAC and ICT students have access to this, of their own projects, both academic and personal. This is our library. This is something called the BAC for Life Center. It's like a co-working space for students to sit and work on individual entrepreneurial projects. This is our science lab. This is the hub. It's a student space where you can hang out during your free time. But of course now, due to the pandemic, I don't think you'll be able to do this for the time being. And again, the student hub with the pool tables, the foosball tables. There's also vending machines for food. Yeah, that's good. That's it for this question.
Okay. So one thing that I want to know is that a student who is planning to study either communication or something like law, what are the benefits that they will get at BAC and IACT, separate benefits that you will be offering?
Mithila, that would be the another set of slides I think you have prepared,
yes,
and then you take them through. I will work with you. Yes, of course.
Yes.
So while Mithila get ready on that, Lawrence, will you be able to address us about now we see a lot of people saying they want to go to UK, Australia, Canada, things like that. But when we take on the international study abroad industry, we see countries like Malaysia provide the same qualifications at a very low price. But the value and things are quite similar to whether they study in UK or Australia. So can you enlighten us on about the benefits that we can see at Malaysia for a student who's studying there?
Well, the first benefit would basically be in the context of as an international student in Malaysia. The first benefit would be you are moving from what what I would call a culturally mono-ethnic society, perhaps in Sri Lanka, into a multi-ethnic society culturally in Malaysia. So here you see a melting pot of cultures and the way people coexist and work with one another, although we may be culturally different. You know, Mithila is Sri Lankan, and I'm Malaysian, but we have no problems working with each other because, you know, we see it is a typical Malaysian way. You learn that Malaysian way of, you know, giving and taking, and, you know, I take as much as I can give, that kind of thing. So that's the first point. The second point is basically, I don't think there is very much difference in terms of climate and weather. And Malaysia seems to offer a lot to international students in terms of the quality of life. Quality of life meaning you probably can get anything you want in this country that you would be able to get in the UK or in Canada or in Australia. And these are what I call the non-academic benefits, and also within the BAC Education Group, how would I say, ecosystem, there are so many more benefits studying here with this group rather than perhaps other colleges, because there are so many things that we have loaded into the student study program, which cost them a lot of money, which practically have been given to the students free of charge. And we will elaborate on that later. However, the most important thing I believe this education group offers is a very kind of personalized approach to education. At ICT College, our classes are very small because we adopt a certain kind of teaching method, a teaching and learning method, which is a pedagogy. We call it the project-based learning. So students actually get real projects from industry to do as part of the diploma and degree studies, where they actually receive a brief from an industry, a company, whether it's a film and broadcasting brief, or whether it's a design brief, or whether it's a marketing and advertising brief, or even a journalism or an event brief. They get to do the actual project guided by their lecturers, who are 95% from industry, like myself. I come from industry, from the advertising and communications industry, and we bring the students to a certain level of achievement. And the same goes with BAC. The classes are taught by professionals, industry professionals. They are engaged in industry. They know what the standards are, whether it's business or whether it's law. Students are exposed to the most up-to-date techniques and happenings and standards that are required of them in industry. So that is going down micro into why it is good to study with this education group, because it is specialized in very many ways. But we'll talk about the other benefits a little later, you know, because a lot of the benefits are common, you know, like what we have as study tools and study aids and things like that. Maybe Mithila, you'd like to elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, we'll go on to that in a bit, but as a Sri Lankan who studied for 3 years in Malaysia and then continued to work here, let me tell you, it's an amazing experience. It's not that different from home. The people are warm, they're friendly. Almost everybody speaks English. And there's a very strong Sri Lankan community here. I mean, I wouldn't say that they're Sri Lankan in the sense, because they've been here for many generations. So they're Malaysian Sri Lankans, but you'll find them everywhere. And there are a lot of cultural activities. There are lots of Buddhist temples. There's actually a Sri Lankan Buddhist temple near our KL campus. There are lots of Hindu temples. There's so much to do. You won't feel homesick at all. I mean, of course, 8 years ago when I studied, we didn't have any Sri Lankan restaurants in my university. So that was a bit of a problem. I couldn't wait to go back home to eat. But now, every corner, you'll find a Sri Lankan restaurant. There's so many out there, and they're really affordable, right? So actually, I find the food, Lawrence, is far more affordable in Malaysia than it is in Sri Lanka.
Oh, really?
You get great food here. And it's so much cheaper than Sri Lanka, I tell you. I mean, I don't feel like I'm breaking the bank when I go out to eat.
Yes.
You know, so like,
eating out is a Malaysian pastime.
Yes, that's right. So, you know, you can find food even like at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's good food.
Yes,
you know, that's one of the highlights, I think, of my life here in Malaysia, exploring the different cultures, the different cuisines, traveling. And you can really travel on a budget. It doesn't cost too much to go to a really nice island and spend a few days.
Correct.
Life here is great. You just need to find a good batch of friends and you're set. You really won't feel so lonely. So
Yes,
I
she's
mean, I
right.
guess that's one of the reasons why I've been here for nearly 12 years. So yeah. So should we go on to the next one about the benefits of studying as a student in BAC and ICT? Yeah. Okay, let me just open the slides. Give me a minute. All right, so I'm just going to give a quick overview. Lawrence, please feel free to jump in at any time if you feel like you need to elaborate. So Abacus is our digital library, which means now, given the pandemic situation, we don't know when students are able to come back on campus. So even as international students, you can study from home. You don't need to come to a campus anytime soon. So all your library and learning materials are via Abacus. So all you need to do is just log in. You can access almost 40,000 titles, journal titles, and all of that via all these different providers. It's all in congregated in one portal. So you can just search for everything through that and find whatever you need for your assignments and all of that. And it cuts across both BAC and ICT.
Yeah.
Right. Then we also have, BAC Learn. This is our learning management system where your classes, your live classes, your recorded classes, your assignments, your lecture notes, everything is hosted in this portal. So again, you just have to log in and you can watch your live classes. You can, if in case you're sick and you're unable to meet and join your live classes, then that's not a problem. You can just go find our repository and revisit it. Okay, sorry, give me a second. Then this is something that is very special to Brickfields Asia College because we are a specialist law school, right? And with this law school, when you join your undergraduate program, you will be learning not only alongside Malaysian lecturers, but also lecturers from Singapore and the UK. So people who actually write the textbooks, who are examiners from University of London, they're the ones who are teaching you. And this is in addition to your regular classes by your Malaysian lecturers. And some of these lecturers are like from University of Cambridge, University of Oxford. They are the experts in their field. They're the ones who write the books, they write the exams. So you're learning from the very best, right? This is another one. It's a professional law faculty. This is for the postgraduate programs where you'll be learning from Malaysian legal practitioners. So again, these are the guys at the very top of their field in the legal arena. They're specialist lawyers from every field. And they also, not only do they take postgraduate classes, but they also come and do workshops. They do webinars on their field of law. So you can even go for a class or a master class on legal opinion writing, on sports law, on medicine. And you will learn from all of these people. So LinkedIn Learning, I'm pretty sure most of you all should know about it. It's an online portal where you can watch thousands of videos by, again, leading experts in their fields. And usually this is a paid program. But under BAC, both BAC and ICT students get access to this resource for free. So throughout your studies, you can go and you can also watch a video. You can learn how to Photoshop. If you're not an ICT student, you're a BAC student, you want to learn the basics of Lightroom, you can go and learn. If you're an ICT student and you want to learn something about business, about finance, you can go and watch these videos and you can upskill and reskill, because in this new world, you can't say I'm only going to be a lawyer, I'm only going to be a copywriter or a filmmaker. You have to know other skills. It's important.
Correct.
Right? So these and the advantage of LinkedIn Learning is every time you finish a certificate or a course, it gets added to your LinkedIn profile. So you build up your online, your digital CV, which is very important for later. Yeah. So Coursera is another thing, but unfortunately, this is only for BAC at the moment. We are working to integrate it into IACT's curricula. So under this, the BAC Business School students will get courses from certain universities in the US, like Harvard, Princeton, Copenhagen Business School. So these programs will be embedded into your course. So you get a dual certification. So you can get a certificate in data science from Princeton University or Harvard University, or project management certificate from University of California, Irvine. So there's so many courses that you can do, and we're now going to add more as we go on. Again, this is all part of our ethos, which means we want to transform lives through education. We believe that students should be multi-talented, they should know a little bit of everything, and they should have the skills when they graduate to be employable in any country across the world, in any industry. It doesn't mean if you study law, you have to be a practicing lawyer. You can be a businessman, you can be an entrepreneur, right? You can work in-house. There's so many options out there. You can be a politician, an academic, a writer. You know, same thing goes for mass comm. I studied mass comm, but look at me, I'm in business, I'm in education. So, you know, all these fields and everything that we give to you is there to help you cross borders, so you're not stuck, that you can find a job anywhere.
Correct.
Back to work. Back to work is a new project that we have launched this year. It's a virtual internship platform, which means you can do internships with any company you like from Malaysia and across the world from your house. You don't need to leave and go anywhere. And you do it all in any industry, any area via this platform. Now, this is a new project again. We created it when the pandemic hit, mainly because we've seen unprecedented number of people being retrenched and unable to find jobs because they just don't have the skills. So Project Deep is a pledge by us, the BAC Education Group, to create employment for over 1 million, for 10,000 Malaysians. But this is also open to BAC and ICT students, where you can learn new skills like digital marketing, AI, cybersecurity, food management. You can even do entrepreneurship, a mini MBA, and it's all free. Project Entrepreneur is another specialized program which is for the public, but BAC students can also, BAC and ICT students can also participate in, where it's specialized entrepreneurial classes designed new normal. Okay, Make It Right. Lawrence, would you like to take this one?
Yes, Make It Right movement is basically, for want of a very simple descriptor, it's basically here, it is the education group's corporate social responsibility thrust. I wouldn't even say a program, because the Make It Right movement is a movement within the education group, which is staffed by full-time professionals, headed by a full-time professional, and we work with non-governmental organizations to not just help them in terms of what their causes are, whether it is health or special needs or inclusivity or disaster relief, but we actually work in terms of building capacity. We work by this simple principle of, you give me a fish, I eat for a day. You teach me how to fish, I eat for a lifetime. Therefore, building capacity is about helping non-governmental organizations help people. For example, there have been times when we have actually helped single mothers, given them skills and like sewing, like cooking and so on, and we've helped the non-governmental organization provide them with small seed capital to start up their own home-based businesses, and that is building capacity. And then these women then further become able to support themselves through their small businesses. We support about 200 charity and corporate social responsibility related projects annually, and this is an ongoing process. I think we are one of the few institutions in this country that has got a dedicated team working on such a project, whether it is about homelessness, whether it's about children with special needs or adults and people with special needs. There are constantly programs that are going on, and these are actually funded by the education group. Yeah, whenever funding is needed, it is forthcoming for projects that are needy.
And we encourage students. Yeah, yes. We encourage students to participate, head their own programs.
Yes.
So to give back to society.
Yeah.
Okay. Going back to give back, this is a new platform we set up again during the pandemic because so many people lost their jobs, day workers, daily wage earners, all of them. So they didn't have any income to feed their families. So through GiveBack.my, we fundraise. It's a fundraising platform on the internet where we feature certain causes and we get people to donate. So we have students also nominating causes that they believe in, they passionately believe in. It can be anything from raising funds for an animal shelter, for feeding the homeless, helping refugees. There was even one project where we raised funds for Sri Lanka because there were so many people in the rural areas, the farming community, who weren't able to earn money because they couldn't work. It was a lockdown, right? So we raised the money. We worked with an NGO in Sri Lanka and we sent the money to them. And our students were heavily involved, and we encourage that. We want you to do good for society because society raised us, right? Who would we be without them? Okay, Future Ready. This is our academies. We have about 10 academies, if I'm not mistaken, and each of them specialize in different areas. So Asia Law Academy is for the law students. This is where you have your master classes, your certificate programs. They're all short courses, 1 day to 3 days to a few weeks even, where you learn specialist knowledge in various areas. TAP is IACT's program for advertising professionals, where you can learn digital marketing, copywriting, presentation skills, and all those things as well.
Yes.
So we also, Digital Transformation Academy teaches you data science, AI, cybersecurity. We have a lot of programs. So if you're interested in doing these while you're studying in your free time, it's free for BAC students.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, before I forget, you would have seen we've got Amazon and Microsoft. We've also partnered with these tech giants to provide certifications for you. So, for example, cloud computing certificates from Amazon. Microsoft has their Microsoft certifications. All of that are provided free for BAC students, so you wouldn't have to pay anything to get these skills. Student life, Lawrence, this is your baby.
All right. We live by the simple maxim, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. As the Chief Experience Officer for IACT, and I work within the colleges of the group, we provide a whole load of societies and clubs that cover all kinds of interests, from performing arts to legal argument to sports to futsal, to international relations, and even Mithila, who's the advisor of, I think, the Leo Club.
That's right.
Yeah, which is part of it's a junior wing for the Lions Club. So we provide students with all sorts of opportunities, whether it is business or entrepreneurship or law or performing, whether it's singing or dancing, or whether it is games like futsal, volleyball, basketball, football, whatever it is. We have a club that will cater to your needs, which you can join. And there is no limit. You can join any club you choose and any number of clubs, as long as you have the time to become an active member of the club, you are able to do it. Yeah. But more than just joining clubs, you don't just join clubs and participate in activities. Character is built. Now, this was very much a part of our Halloween celebrations. And every year, this year, of course, we couldn't do it. We have a fantastic run up to Halloween. Last year, we had a Scarnival. SCARENIVAL, where there's all sorts of different activities related to Halloween, which culminated in the Halloween night party, in our Performing Arts Center. Here, this one, what you see is this year. Was it this year, Mithila, in January?
Yes, it was.
We had
January
our first.
2020.
Yes, January 2020. We had the first BAC BAC Olympics, we call it. So the students were divided into different houses, and you see they're wearing T-shirts of the different houses. This is the Pharaohs, which is my house. And then I can't remember the other names except for my own house.
The purple one's Pegasus. We were the champions.
Yeah, Pegasus. So there were fun activities as well as serious ones. Like this is the 400-meter race. There's men and women, and then there was volleyball, football, basketball, dodgeball, and then there were telematch games. It was all over a day, and every house would participate and score points, and those that won the most points actually became the champions. So this is held targeted to be held once every year, but I don't know when we will be able to do it next year, because we're still under sort of a partial lockdown now, and we're advised not to have crowds like these anymore. Yeah. So this is basically a sports activity. It's an outdoor activity. Everybody had fun. And this is open to students of all the 4 colleges of the education group. Any other slide, Mithila?
Yes, sir. Just
Yes. Now this is very much, I'm not sure, this is Make It Right, I think. Was it
No,
a Make
this
It
is
Right?
the Leo Club. The Leo Club.
Sorry, the Leo Club.
SPCA,
Maybe you might want to elaborate on that, Mithila.
Okay, so the Leo Club partnered with SPCA to help them in their awareness drives. So what they do is every Sunday, now during the pandemic, of course, it doesn't happen, but every Sunday, the Leo Club joins SPCA, which is the Society for the Protection of Cruelty Against Animals.
Yeah.
Prevention of cruelty against animals.
Yes.
So they also have an animal shelter of over, I think, 300 dogs.
Yes.
So what happens on every Sunday is we take these animals to a park that's animal friendly, and we give them exercise. We allow them to run, they swim in the pool. So the Leo Club members go and play with these animals. They take them for walks. So it takes some pressure off the volunteers at the SPCA. Yeah, then we've got Monsterfit, which is our gym. Lawrence, would you?
Yes. Besides just having games, this gym is a 16,500 square foot gym, fully equipped professional gym with its own kickboxing ring, with a dance studio and yoga studios, and fully equipped, and this is an actual shot from the gym, of our spinning machines, where we have actual classes like dance, yoga, spinning. We even have kickboxing classes, which are all free of charge. And see, these are the classes: fencing, and that is attached to the gym. Outside is a lap pool, which is open free of charge for all students. The gym normally, besides the lockdown hours, is open, I think, from 7 in the morning right through to 11 at night. And this is for all students and all staff of the college, the whole group. Yeah. And you can join classes for free. You have all of this, then it's a professional gym, which you might have to pay a couple of hundred ringgit for outside, but it is free of charge for all students. Yeah. And of course, the dance academy. The dance academy is part of Monsterfit, and you have all these classes. Zumba is very popular, salsation, and then hip hop. We have one of our people who is a real hip hop dancer, Brendan, and
yes,
he actually heads a team of hip hop dancers, and we actually have dance classes which are free of charge for all students to participate in. Yep.
And during the pandemic, these are broadcast live. So we've got, I think Mondays is Zumba, Tuesdays is belly dance. So it's broadcast live. So you can just log into Instagram or on the Monsterfit website and watch these videos for free. And Monsterfit also has workout videos online on their website, which are free to watch. So if you can't go to the gym, you can do these from exercises from home. The Career Center, Lawrence.
All right. Basically, it is always something. There's always something going on to help you plan for your future. The Career Center is basically a place where actually it helps you to transition from what you are studying into the working world while giving you access. Basically, it is an internship center. I've given talks, on resume building, on career talks. There are writing workshops. All these, what I wouldn't even call them soft skills. They are called power skills, which you have to acquire in order to make sure that you transition from student life into a useful, what we call global graduate. So part of what the Career Center organizes would be, we have a database where we match internship applications from our students to companies that are looking for interns, and then we conduct career fairs. Career fairs, which were once conducted face-to-face, are now conducted online. For example, this Saturday, we have a career fair. We have a career fair which is now online. And then we also would conduct competitions. And on this side, where you see, these are all soft skills training, which the Career Center provides free of charge for students, as long as they are interested, the classes are conducted. Yeah. And well, the Center for Global Engagement is basically to create, this is a very much an activity to create awareness. To create awareness so that, you know, you must leave with your degree knowing that you are not just a citizen of a specific country, you are a citizen of the world. And your connections should be global. So you will be provided with international seminars, you'll be provided with opportunities to attend international conferences, volunteer opportunities overseas, or you might do a semester, you know, as an intern, working with perhaps farmers, you know, in any country which has programs like these. You know, you build up your network, your global networking, and through global networking sessions, we plan to organize field trips and workshops, and all these will be given by experts in their own field. Yeah. So basically it's for you to build connections. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, yeah, that's the extent of the benefits that we offer for overseas students. All of these things are given to you free of charge. There's no hidden costs, nothing. It's part of your BAC and ICT experience.
Yes.
That's a quite interesting package that you're going to get when you become a BAC or ICT student. Because
Yes.
one thing that you always see is that the university say there's a fee involved, and with that, there's only limited service that they might be providing. But when I see this presentation, as you correctly said as well, is that it's not about you being a lawyer, or it's not about you doing a degree on marketing communication, things like that. It's all about the other elements that you have to bring in as a student who will be coming to the career path. So it's quite
That is
interesting. And if I was doing a bit of a calculation, there's plenty of benefits that I would be getting if I became a BSc student, apart from the money that I'm be paying as the qualification fee.
Yes.
So one interesting that I would want to ask Mithila and Ross, over to you, both of you, is that now, as we discuss about the pandemic and the things have changed, and with that, how do you see the market change when it's come to courses? What are the most popular courses at BACT and ISCT at the moment? And do you see a different trend there changing up? If you can elaborate on that.
Well, I think I can speak from the IACT experience, yeah, in terms of courses that are very popular now with the pandemic situation. IACT has, I think, a score of international students who were actually signed on to join in the January and the April semesters, who, because of the pandemic, are now unable to come to the campus, how would I say, to have physical classes. So many of our international students come to do a broadcasting and film diploma, and they also do the advertising and design degree. And we have a good number of students from Maldives doing graphic design. We have Indonesian and Maldivian students doing broadcasting and film. We have Indonesian students doing advertising and design. And so these are the more popular courses because they teach very many hands-on marketable skills. So although, you know, you are not able to access a studio, you are still being tutored as to how to capture shots and images and how to edit using, you know, the Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects editing suites online, which our lecturers teach. And at the same time, I would like to mention now that with our degree program, we just got approval of a Bachelor of Communication degree in branding and digital marketing, which we'll be offering from January next year. There already have been recruitments and students who are doing it, and it is a degree which we teach as the appointed franchise holder and learning center, but for a university within the education group, that is Veritas University College. Yeah, so that is a degree in digital marketing and branding, and we will kick it off via online classes. So all you need to do, in fact, if you want to do any of these programs, you don't have to be physically present on the campus. You just make sure you make your applications. We will process the applications, which will take about 8 weeks to process, because we have to take it through immigration. You have to get your study pass. You have to make sure that, you know, a lot of other bureaucratic steps are adhered to via our Education Malaysia Global Services, which is basically the clearinghouse for international students. And then you are given the go-ahead by the immigration and education authorities to join as a student, but you can stay in your country. We have many like these now, right now, during the pandemic. Yeah. So I would say that popular ones are broadcasting and film, graphic design, and advertising and design for what I've seen in the last year or so. What would it be in BAC, Mithila? What would the popular ones be?
Okay, so maybe for BAC, our most popular one is the transfer program. So the transfer program is where you do either 1 year or 2 years in the UK, in Malaysia, and then you transfer to the UK. So as you see here, University of Liverpool, Reading, Nottingham, Manchester, Hull, Queen's University, Belfast, Oxford, and Exeter, these are our transfer partners, right? While University of London is our partner for studying all 3 years in Malaysia. So we've had a large number of international students who've chosen to do the transfer program because they get to experience that year in the UK, right? So what we can do for you also is that, for example, right now during the pandemic, since you're unable to travel, you can do your first year while studying in Sri Lanka. Then your second year can be done in Malaysia, while your third year, you can go to the UK. And most of these universities are recognized by the Sri Lankan bar. So you can practice in Sri Lanka. Alternatively, you can do the BPTC, the bar exam in the UK, and then be eligible to practice in Sri Lanka as well, because these are all Commonwealth countries. Now, the University of London program is also for those who just want to stay in Malaysia. They're not keen on going to the UK. So it is another popular option. But under our business school, definitely the most popular option is, again, the transfer program, because people want to go to the UK. They want to have that experience, but without breaking the bank. So by doing the transfer program, you're only paying for 1 year. And as BAC students, you get certain benefits as well, because our partner universities give you a lower fee. Sometimes you can get up to £2,000 off your fee, which is a lot of money when you look at the exchange rate, right? So under the business program, again, we've partnered with a lot of universities with different specializations, ranging from marketing and psychology, economics, investment, supply chain management. So you have a lot of options with these. So yeah, these are just to give you a quick overview on what the kind of programs we offer. But yes, I would say definitely the transfer programs are our most popular programs.
That's actually take me for my next question, is that it is always good to know that you have pathway options and you can have the option of doing online. Lawrence, you already tap into certain amount of this about the application process. Just for the students who are joining today, who are primarily will be bachelor students who will be looking for the options, can you take us through the process, how it works for a bachelor student after A-levels?
All right. After A-levels, you've finished your A-levels. Then if you're interested in any program within BAC and ICT, what you would do is, let's say we have your details. So Mithila and I would hand your details to what we call an admissions counselor within the group. There is a group of admissions counselors who are specialized in actually managing and advising and counseling international students. So these students, these counselors would then answer all the questions on the programs that they need to know, that the student wants to study, and then they would forward you a copy, an application form. Let's say it would be for BAC or ICT, we have a standard form we will send to you that requires all the details, plus details of your academic qualifications. And then these are all fillable online. It is sent as soft copy, you fill it up and you send it back to us. And from there, we will start, and you of course then begin a process where we have to collect a deposit, a certain amount of money from the student, which is up to for ICT, I think it's a fair amount for an international student. I think it's 5,000 ringgit, and that money is then paid into an account which will provide you with the details, and then this application process will begin. It is not just something that's being processed internally. We have to vet it to see that you meet the entry qualifications that have been set for the specific program. For most programs, it is the minimum of 2 E's, and you must have a credit in your secondary school leaving education in English. Yeah. So then what we then do is, after we've processed and we see that you have the English proficiency, because all our programs are taught in English, then it is sent forward to the Education Malaysia Global Services, and that's where it takes a lot of time. The student will then be advised by another counselor who will be specialized in all of the processes that are necessary. It is a long process, and it is I wouldn't say complicated, but it's a very linear process. You can't go to B without completing step A, and you can't go to step D without completing step C. So it is a process, and that's what bureaucracy is all about. It's climbing a ladder, and it is how fast you can climb that ladder. It's
Correct.
So it is a process which is very specialized, and we've got specialized counselors who will be handling it. So all you need to do for the beginning would be make that inquiry through you, and then from you, the student will then be given all the details that they need to have and they need to know, and meetings will be arranged between the student and the counselor, again through you as the middle person.
That's right.
And then from there we will begin the process of the application. So let's say if you want to come in and study in 2021, and the degree intakes are in January, in April, in June, and in August, in September. So the student must give himself or herself at least a 12 to 15 week lead time before you are given the green light to study in the country, even if it's online. So the January intake is out of the question now, but the April intake would then be something very feasible for the student to come in after the A-levels.
Okay, let me just interject a little bit here.
Sure.
We're getting a few questions, guys. Please feel free to ask us questions via the chat box. We will either answer it live or answer you via the chat. For IACT, while, as Lawrence expressed, you can come to Malaysia and study. For BAC, we are now offering you an option where you can study from home, right? So we've got this new program called BAC Global, which Prageeta will explain to you as well. It's basically, it allows you, because, let me gather my thoughts here. So BAC has a college in Singapore as well.
Yes.
So you can either choose to study in Malaysia or Singapore for your degree. So should you decide that, with the pandemic, it's not safe, you don't want to travel, but you still want a UK qualification, but you want to study in Sri Lanka, you can join BAC Global, and your certification will be through Singapore.
Yes.
So you will do a diploma in law, then you will do an advanced diploma. So the diploma in law is year 1 of your degree, your advanced diploma in law is your year 2 of your degree, and the year 3 of your degree will be with our transfer partner in the UK. And all our transfer partners are now running classes online. So you can just stay at home and do all 3 years of your study.
Correct.
If you choose that, if you feel, and if your parents feel that it's not safe for you all to go yet, So we offer that because we understand. I mean, even for me, my parents are worried about me being here in Malaysia while they're in Sri Lanka, but I'm already here, so it's fine. But for those of you all who are still trying to come in, this is an option that y'all can explore. And the application process is very simple. Just reach out to Prageet. He will reach out to us. If you have any questions, ask him. We will get back to you through him. And it's actually a very streamlined process to study online. It's very simple. You just have to meet the entry requirements of each course. We also had a question about English language requirements. It is not necessary to do IELTS or TOEFL if you have a minimum C grade in your O-levels, for English paper in your O-levels. If you have that, you're good to go. If you don't have that, I'm sorry, my friend, you have to do IELTS or TOEFL.
Yes, and for the IELTS, you must have at least 5.5, a score of 5.5 for all the 4 components. You cannot score 6 for one, 7 for one, and then 5 for the other. You must have at least 5.5 for all of the 4 components, because that's how sticky the universities are. They will not say, oh, okay, the score is about 5.5, but the average score is not 5.5 per component. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. And just to add on to what Mithila has said, IACT also now has a communications diploma, which leads to a degree in BAC Singapore. You come in after your A-levels, you do your diploma, and then you do your advanced diploma, 1 year for diploma, 1 year for advanced diploma, and then your final year, through one of our partner universities. This one is the University of Essex, you know, and then you, in 3 years, you study in Sri Lanka, but you have gained a British degree. So we now have that option, and we are launching it hopefully in January next year. And the intakes are modular, meaning that you can join at any time. And let's say there are 6 modules for the diploma, and there are another 8 modules for the advanced diploma. You don't have to wait when the classes start. You can join at any time, so that we have what we call a rolling intake. So you can join in February, let's say, when principles of marketing is being introduced, but you missed introduction to communication studies. So you start at number 2, you go into 3, 4, 5, 6. After you 6, and then once you finish 6, you go back to 1, which is constantly being offered every month. So it's rolling, you know. So there are not many constraints on time, and it is delivered online. Yeah,
that's right.
Delivered online for the world.
Correct.
Yes,
and
Nicola,
if you
sorry.
have any reservations about your student life, not being able to access that from home, don't worry. We have everything online. Even clubs and societies, they're doing online activities, right? We have esports tournaments going on. I think we just finished a PBUG tournament last week.
Correct.
Yeah, the Indian Cultural Society just had an entire week of Deepavali celebrations, all held online.
Yes.
We've had a dance workshop online as well. So don't worry about your student life. Yeah. We've got technology. As long as you have an internet connection and a laptop, you're good. You can do whatever you want from Sri Lanka.
Yes, and the Joint Performing Arts Club just finished a performing arts competition online where people sang and danced and played instruments, and you know, they were judged by the number of votes they got. You know, this was all uploaded on our what you call this Instagram pages. So it's something which is I don't think you'll miss out on student life, except that the reality of the situation is you are at home and safe. You know. Only when a vaccination is found will we find it comfortable for students to come in, because it is something which is which is something which we don't take lightly. Yeah, and your safety is very, very
the most important thing to us.
Yeah.
So, one of the questions that we already had so far in this year is that, okay, am I allowed to go overseas or am I not? Okay, how is the entire thing going to change? I think you have answered one of the major things that most of the students have. Like, you can start online, and if you really want, you can stay online, do for 1 year or 1.5 years in Sri Lanka, then you can transfer to Malaysia and finish it there. And complete from there onwards. If you want to go to UK, and complete from there as well. One thing that I just want to clarify from you when it's come to that is that, let's say, now one of the questions that comes always, especially with the UK and Australian students, one question they will always ask that, okay, if I start online, when do I have to go to the country and start the proceeding? So what we normally say is that as soon as the borders are open, you can go. Let's say a student wants to start a program in Malaysia or in BAC or ISCT. They start the first semester here and they decide, okay, I will complete the entire year in Sri Lanka, then I want to go to Malaysia or come to the college. Is that option is available, rather than soon after the borders are open, you have to fly? It goes like that?
No, it's up to you. If you choose to finish your year in Sri Lanka, that's completely fine. But if also you decide, okay, I finished 1 semester, but I really want to come to Malaysia as soon as I can, as soon as the borders open, also completely fine. It's up to you. We give you that option, and we will be running this online option for a while, because we understand the safety concerns, and that is the most important thing. We don't want to force you to come here and you know, be worried and scared and stuck on your own in a hostel somewhere. So it's safer for you to be back home in Sri Lanka to finish the whole year and then travel out.
Yes, that's offered throughout the whole group of colleges, and universities.
That's right.
That's a very good news for the parents, actually. They can monitor the progress of the kid and also the safety of the kid as well.
Yes.
So we have almost come to like 50 minutes of our discussion, and just one more question that we already scheduled to have is that one thing that people always ask that, okay, if I go to another country and then they start, can I do part-time? How does it work in there? So if you elaborate on that, how is Malaysia, how the part-time opportunities work there?
Okay, I am extremely sorry, but Malaysia does not allow international students to work part-time.
Okay.
So that is unfortunately one of the rules. But what we do is there are internships that are tied to your course. For example, I know ICT has an internship.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a compulsory internship, which the student has to do. And it is a 12-week internship. You have to perform the internship to graduate because it's a skills-based, it's skills and application of knowledge. So the student has to complete it. That is not considered part-time work. That is considered part of study, and that is allowed. Yeah. So if you're a full-time international student and your program demands that you complete a compulsory internship, then of course you are allowed to work, so to speak. Yeah. And all our internship students and all our internship partners are bound to pay the internship interns a minimum amount. It's not a salary, but it is an allowance. Yeah. It is an add-on to what the student would receive from his or her parents. And so it is a paid internship, but the student's responsibility is to learn what it is like to work out there and in a real situation. And the student is to compile a report, an internship report supervised by his academic supervisor, as well as his work at internship supervisor at work. Yeah. The other question is, I also believe that international students are not allowed to come to the country and study part-time. You have to be, your visa is a grant of visa for a full-time study. So you can't say, oh, I'm going to study only part-time and I'm going to work part-time. There is no condition in your visa that allows you to work. The condition is simple. You're a full-time student, bona fide full-time student. You have to study full-time. Yeah. And we don't even advise that you work on the quiet. You know, there will be employers who are willing to offer you the kind of employment. But if there is any check, yeah, by immigration authorities, and they find that you're an international student who is working part-time and you are not approved to work part-time, you might have to leave the country. So we don't advise it at all. Yeah. We don't advise you do that at all. We advise you to continue to basically concentrate on your studies during the time that you are a full-time student. Yeah.
So one question would be is that if a student who have got the internship and have performed really well in that particular internship, so if the company allows him to do a job there, how does it work?
It's very simple. It has to be a work permit. So for example, once a student finishes the internship, they have to graduate. Once upon graduation, the company can offer them a letter of employment, and then the company has to apply for the visa, for the work permit. So once that is approved and everything, then they can start working. But there is an entire process for that, and it has happened. I'm living proof of it.
Yes,
what was supposed to be an internship turned out into a full-time job for 8 years. Right? So it is very, very, very possible. So you just have to find the right company that suits you and that likes you.
Yes, correct. Where there is a fit, you know, a fit between the intern and the company culture and the company's needs, then it isn't a problem at all. Yeah. But you must be offered the job, and then the company can begin the process of applying for your work visa.
So I think that might be a good thing for all the students who are listening to us today, is that one thing is that you get a guaranteed internship where you will actually learn how the system works, rather than you do what I would say ad hoc job like a pizza boy or something which not related to your studies, but you get a proper thing where you will learn something international. Then you can either apply it in Sri Lanka, or if you perform well, which we have here as a living proof, you will be continuing your life in Malaysia itself.
That's right.
Yes.
So we are about to come for the final part of our program, and if you guys have any questions to ask, please write to us. And while we do that, anything that you want to add from your side, Lawrence, about this entire process, studying in Malaysia, like a final tip that you want to give for the student?
It's very simple. I always tell international students this because I went through it myself. The first semester that you come, you're just overwhelmed by the fact that you have so much freedom, right? You tend to go out, go watch movies because you have movies that play past midnight. There's so much to do here that you forget that the reason that you're here. So while you have fun, while you take part in all the extracurricular activities, it's equally important that you pay attention to your studies. It's equally important that you take advantage of everything that BAC and ICT has to offer you. because the world is not what it used to be, where you could just get a degree, just only do your academics and then be hired. Employers don't want that anymore. They want to see leadership. They want to see teamwork, right? They want to see critical thinking abilities. They don't want to spoon feed you anymore. They want to see you make the effort, do the research, do the work. And all of that you will learn while you're in university. With all these extracurricular activities, these certifications that you do, it builds your CV, it builds your thinking capacity and all of that. So that is important. You have to learn to stay relevant. You must be able to learn new skills, pick up anything that you want. And don't say, I only want to do this. I'm not interested in anything else. The world is not like that anymore. It's really not. You have to be hungry. You have to stay hungry. And you have to be willing to do what it takes to succeed. Lawrence, anything else to add?
Mithila said it all, but in terms of on a slightly more micro level, when you join the BAC Education Group, whether it is BAC for Law and Business or whether it's ICT for Communication, there is one thing I can assure you of: support. Support in terms of pastoral care, support in terms of I am actually in terms of an experience, the chief experience officer. There are many students who come to me from the different colleges who, if they have problems in adapting, in problems in the academics, problems in anything, you know, we are equipped to actually provide that kind of emotional, mental and spiritual support to you to help you through any difficult situation or any time when you are finding it hard to adapt. Yeah, there are people who are here. We have trained counselors, and I am a certified life coach. So I am here to actually help you along your way. There will be a lot of support, and the one thing you will find about the group of colleges within the education group is there is always that personal touch. There is access to people right at the top of the ladder. You are not just a name and a student number, you are a person. Yeah, and that is very, very, very important.
Anytime. That's right.
Yes, correct.
I mean, even
support.
the lecturers are the same.
Yes.
I've had so many students tell us, you know, it's so amazing that we message our lecturers like at midnight and we're like, I don't know what to do. And they're like, don't worry, they'll respond. Of course, within reason, doesn't mean you always have to message them at that time. But if you really need it, we are accessible. The lecturers are accessible. The top management, the senior management are always accessible.
Yes, yes.
So we're there to help. That's what we always tell y'all, we're here to help. Reach out to us. Then we can make your entire experience that much more memorable.
Yes, correct, correct. So, I mean, it's if parents are listening in, I think it's very reassuring for you to know that I am a parent and I work and I do what I do best, and is guide students and help them and give them the kind of support that they need. I'm that surrogate father. Last night, you know, we are at week 14 of IACT's semester, and that is when assignments are due, presentations that to be made. Last night, I was online with some students right up to 11:30. What was I doing? You know, they needed help and with the presentation which they were going to make on Tuesday, and they were working together. We were doing this online. So this is basically something which, if you are really interested in education, I tell our academics and our lecturers, then this is basically not something extra you need to do, something which we have to do, which we would do because we are concerned. You know, because we want to do it. Yeah. So you will have that support. Do not worry. And if all else fails, there is this bald man walking around the campus you can always track down, you know.
You can't miss him.
Talk to him. You can't miss him. He's tall, he's big, and the head shines like a lighthouse a mile away, you know. There are a few of us like this, but Mithila will tell you. But, you know, we are here to help you. Yeah. So basically, that's how I'd like to end on this note. Thank you very much, Pragit, for having us here.
Yes, we enjoyed it thoroughly, and we hope you students and parents, you guys learned something about us. Feel free to reach out to Pragit anytime you want to pass on your contacts to us.
Yeah, your first point of contact with Pragit, and then Pragit will actually facilitate the process with the education group.
Thank you, Lawrence. Thanks, Mithila, for enriching us today and with this particular program. And guys who were listening to us today and who were connecting through FB Live, the few things that we will always say is that Malaysia is affordable, and it's, as you have seen, Mithila, it's a home away from home. It's a culture is there, people can learn, and it's a community is there for you guys. And also the advantage for the parents that we discuss at the moment is that you can start online now itself. and do it. And when you feel your kid to go home, go to the Malaysia or any other country, you can do it from there itself. So thanks for listening to us today, and thanks once again, Lawrence, Mithila, for joining us. Hope to see you guys soon, and let's work on things. And guys, if you have any questions, just write to us through our website. That is the www.theinternship.hub. And also you can reach us through our mobile number 070 070 and 070. Thanks for joining us today, and thanks, and have a pleasant evening, and stay safe. See you guys. Thanks. Bye.
Take
See
care.
you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.